Only 23% of foreign students who obtain their degrees in the United States remain permanently in the US. While many point to an antiquated and complex immigration system, I would argue that the real culprit are US employers. You see, when one completes his or her degree from a US institution, a master's degree or another professional degree, they often enter into US employment on a work permit through an OPT and then hope to be picked up on an H-1B temporary worker permit, which is subject to a lottery. Now, this traditional route can often take many, many years, and it's quite painful. So one who has studied for 2 or 3 years and then does 2 or 3 more years on an OPT and then hopes to get onto a 3-year temporary worker visa, only to renew that temporary worker visa again for another 3 years, and then hopes and prays that his employer will have mercy on them and file for a permanent immigration petition at that point. That is a nightmare scenario. You're spending a decade only to know whether or not you're going to be able to remain permanently in the US. Rather than go through this nightmare scenario, I would argue that folks need to put their fate in their own hands and go through a self-petition process where one who has completed his or her professional degree can apply directly for an immigration benefit through a EB-2 national interest waiver or an EB-1A extraordinary ability petition. In either of those scenarios, you need to reach out and consult with someone who can cut through the complexities, to cut through and think about how we can approach this from an out-of-the-box thinking approach, rather than stick to the traditional methods that are creating nightmares and causing 77% of professional graduates from this country who are born in foreign countries to return to those countries rather than provide value and live their lives here in the US. Please contact Silmi Law and we'll help you get this done.